Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Looks as of right now, I'm the only guy on here, but I'm JD. This is 701 Nation. Got a little change up in the lineup tonight. I was going to talk. First of all, I was going to talk about the suppressors, how fast everybody's getting a return on them. But I think in 2 weeks, I'm going to have a guy on who's actually sells suppressors and talk about it instead of just me doing it. But yeah, the times are down. The time you're getting your suppressor back is way down. I've talked to people. Just today talked to one of my buddies, and a friend of his actually bought the suppressor, and within 4 days he had it back in his hand. So yeah, suppressor times are way down. And 2 weeks from now, Dustin Weedrick from Hazen Armory LLC, I'm going to have him on. As of right now, it's going to be Wednesday, but that could change. But as of right now, that's what we're scheduling it for. So we're going to be talking. My daughter just took hunter safety and passed, and my nephew did, and one of my good friend's sons did. So we're going to be doing our first deer hunt with them this fall. So I kind of changed up that first thing from the suppressors. We're going to talk about some youth deer rifles, the six best used according to wide open spaces, the six best youth hunting rifles, and I'll give you my opinion on those, of course. And then after that we're gonna hit on the soft point bullets. Our soft point bullets, a thing of the past. A lot of people don't shoot soft points anymore. I don't much either, but I did get some from our sponsor and tried them out. I did a video on them last week. If you want to check that out, go back on Facebook or YouTube, on X or any of that, and Rumble. I'm not sure it's on Rumble, but check that out. And then we're going to think five things that you might not know about the Ruger company. I'm a big fan of Ruger firearms. I ran across this. It's kind of a neat little thing about a gun company. And of course, the last thing I'm going to do today, I'm going to kind of add this in here when I do the stream. Celebrity scumbag of the week, and yeah, it is in a roundabout way related to guns, which you will find out. And if you like the Rambo movies, you're gonna know who this guy is. I and I love Rambo movies, but no, it's not Sylvester Stallone. Some people definitely, say Sly's a scumbag. So yeah, I'm going to do like what Clay did. I'm getting texts from my buddies who aren't watching, but they got time to be on texting me. Hey, thanks guys for watching. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to it. And I tell you what, if people were looking for, I forgot to add this in there. I was going to say the biggest. One of my topics is going to be the biggest threat to mule deer, which was an Outdoor Life magazine article. Um, Guys and gals, I decided to skip that one because that sucker was so long. I was going over it. I mean, it is a great topic, and I want to do it, but it's a whole show. It's a whole episode to do. I would not have fit that in, and I don't want to do. The guys were on last night, so I don't want to do another 2 hour show, or I don't even want to do an hour and a half show. I'm gonna try and keep this to an hour, a little longer, but you know, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll have Tyson on or Wayne Muth at some point talking about this. It's a pretty good article. I mean, some of the stuff in there pissed me off. It sounds like some leftist garbage, but some of the stuff I agree with as well. So, anyways, we're gonna skip on that. Let me see if we got anybody coming in here on the chat. So I'm gonna check them out. Hey, Wayne, good evening, buddy. There he is, right there. Dan, good evening. Good evening. My buddy Clayton's on here. Guns in the 701. Yep, great topic, but lots to talk about. Yep, Brandon, that's right. Yeah, that's right, Brandon. Yeah, right. It'll be back on in a bit. Yep. All right. Sounds good. Here we go. I can tell you what. Let's hit on this. So, like I said, my daughter just got through hunter. So she's totally jacked about deer hunting, and so's my nephew. He's already called me, wanted to shoot, told me to test on his score on his test, which was awesome. And my buddy John's son, congratulations to all of them for passing. The instructors out there did a great job. And if you're wondering about the class, I want to say it was about half of the class there was probably girls. I mean, if it wasn't half, it was dang close, which is great to see. So, anyways, like I said, according to Wide Open Spaces, the six best youth hunting deer rifles. So, I'll just give you right off the top what their winners of their categories were here quick. So the best one, their overall one that they got here was the Savage Access XP Compact. I mean, I would definitely disagree with that one. Their safest one was the Henry single shot youth rifle. I can probably get on board with that. It's a cool looking rifle too. I didn't load up any pictures. I mean, if you guys want to look these up, it's easy enough to do. The best lightweight one was the Ruger American Ranch Compact. I have a Ruger American Ranch. It is awesome. Young people have shot it. My daughter, my friends' kids, and it's great. The best with an adjustable length of pull, Mossberg Patriot Youth Super Bantam. It does. It has like 3 or 4 different ones, which we'll get into a little bit. And the best weather and damage resistant was the Winchester XPR Compact. So, all right, let's go with their top pick right away, which, as I said, was the Savage Access XP. See, right off the bat here with this thing, I don't like Savage Access rifles. Sorry to my buddy Derek, who has a 308. He was a guest of mine last time, but their magazines suck. They're known to, it's kind of that rotary thing. They've been known to jam up on people I know who have accesses. My dad had one, a few other people. But anyway, right, the weight, 7.32 pounds. To me, right away, that 7.7, over 7 pound rifle for a young kid, a youth hunter, it's got to be sub 7 for me. So I think that's too much. Overall length 39.5, length of pull 12 3/4 inch. 20-inch carbon steel barrel, which is good. I mean, you want that shorter barrel for a young kid. Synthetic stock recoil pad. They dip it in true timber strata, which I'm not familiar with that exact camo pattern, but that sounds pretty cool. And like I said, the barrel's matte, which is good. I like the matte black, not the blued, so it's shiny like that. I like matte black stuff better. I mean, old timers might like the matte or the just the blued, but that wears off pretty easy too. And so it has a detachable magazine, which I do like, but like I said, the Savage Access, unless they fixed the problem recently, their detachable magazines are not good. A 4+1 capacity. That's good. I like that. They say in case follow-up shots are required. I mean, who cares if it is? I mean, you just need more ammo to carry around, in my opinion. It already has sling swivels, and front end has room for a bipod, which is good. And that comes in at $400. That's the Savage Access XP, which it's decent. I think you're going to buy your kid a hunting rifle, and four or $500 is a reasonable thing here. So let's see here. We got one shot cap, no drinking tonight. Yeah, that's right. If anybody missed it last Friday, we did the drinks with the 701. Good time. Appreciate having everybody on. It was a fun show. Josh Patterson, my son's first deer rifle is a Savage Access 6.5 Creed. Thing shoots very well and loves several different kinds of ammo. I've had good luck with access rifles, never any issues. Okay, well, hey, I stand corrected on that one. That's awesome, Josh. I like to hear that because like I said, I've had people say they did have problems, mainly with the magazine, the feeding issues on the access. But yeah, in a 6.5 Creed, I mean, no matter what rifle it is, me personally, I've never heard anybody say a 6.5 didn't shoot well for them. And every 6.5 Creed I've shot was shot great. So anyway, then I don't know, is that Savage? Josh, does that have an adjustable trigger on it? I guess if it is in there, I missed it. Most of these newer rifles do have adjustable triggers, so I hope it does. And okay, so their top pick here for their single shot. What was the Henry here? I said their safest pick. That's right. This is their safe pick, the Henry single shot. Okay, comes in under 7 pounds, like I said, 6.95, 13-inch length of pull, walnut stock, black solid rubber recoil pad. I mean, it doesn't say how soft it is. I prefer if it's a kid or heck, even an adult, soft rubber recoil pads. Got to have it, in my opinion. I don't want some piece of tire rubber cut and screwed on it. That's worthless to me. And I mean, a kid starts feeling recoil, boy or girl. I mean, their excitement for hunting or shooting goes just like an adult, or if you take your wife or something, your girlfriend shooting the first time, and it recoils hard or it doesn't recoil hard and it's got a crappy recoil pad, that's a big no-no, big turnoff. So this Henry, Ambidextrous locking lever safety prevents the hammer from contacting the firing pin unless the trigger is pulled, which is good. A lot of people don't like more than one safety. I don't mind that. I like that. Additionally, the barrel can open if the hammer is cocked, and the barrel can't close if the hammer is cocked while it's open. These features add extra layers of safety for novice hunters, which is totally fine with me. I mean, I like extra safety stuff when I'm at my age. I'm 52, and even my carry pistols, I like the manual safety on them. Some people don't. It's another. Our split second could kill you, JD. Trust me, I'll click that safety down in no time flat if I got to jerk that smoke wagon. Single shot configuration promotes the deliberate and measured approach to shooting, emphasizing accuracy and shot placement. Um, I used to piss me off when I'd see that for some reason because it sounded kind of funny, but and in actuality, I will say single shots probably do help you improve your accuracy. You can disagree with me, which is fine. But I do like that. It is so. It comes with iron sights too. This Henry, but it is drilled and tapped on the receiver to provide an option for you to put a scope on it, which is good. The Henry here comes in $500, which like I said, pretty reasonable here. So I'm gonna hit a couple of these comments here. Where was that? Josh had one for me here. See, Gene, I'm all right. Josh, Access 2 does, the regular Access doesn't. He's referring to I asked him if they have a adjustable trigger, but we put the M Carbo spring trigger kit in it to lighten it up. I actually like it better than the regular trigger. And the kit was about $20 and super easy to install. Yeah, maybe you heard me and Josh kind of talked about this a while back, actually, but I'm going to just say it again real quick. These M Carbo trigger springs are awesome for Ruger Americans. Oh, I didn't know they made them for the Access, but yeah, Josh, you're right. They make your trigger so much better. I mean, they're not even half bad like the Ruger Americans factory, but those M Carbo trigger springs they're awesome and worth every penny of it. Gene Cox, my daughter started with an SKS. That was what they liked for whatever reason. Now they fight over my CZ 550 full stock and 6.5 by 55 Swede, but I've always been different. Hey, no, them CZs are sweet rifles, Gene. No doubt about it. Actually, I was down talking to Daryl at Double H, our other one of our sponsors, and he's got a CZ. I think he's gonna let us take it out here once the weather gets nice and do some testing with that. Probably out at the old rock range at Axel. So yeah, CZs are nice, and 6.5, anything 6.5 I like. I'm kind of a velocity snob, but that thing's slow, but it's so accurate, which more than makes up for any velocity you lose. One shot cap. My son's first deer rifle was a Remington 700, 243. Got it from his grandfather. Awesome. I mean, getting your gun passed down from your granddad is awesome, man. And there's always something special about that. And you've heard me say this before, right? Sitting right over there, first rifle I ever shot a deer with, 222 Savage, model 10, I think, detachable mag, 5 round, worked great. Got that from my grandpa Jonas. Josh, let's see here, Meant I like the M Carbo trigger kit set up better than the Aki triggers. Yep, I got that from you, Josh. Yep, I got you. Let's see here. Brandon, the Savage Little Rascal was perfect for your youngins. No, we're actually, Brandon. If you don't know that, I bought a Savage Rascal for my youngest there, and it's 22. I bought it from Brandon. We're going to take that baby out when it gets nicer here and do a little range test with it. My daughter's fired up. She wants to shoot some gel. She wants to shoot at 100. She's already shot my 22 AR out to 130 yards with iron sights and hammered the 10-inch gong. So I'm sure if she's got it in her room, she's jacked up about it. It's gonna be fun. All right, so let's where are we at? 7:15. Let's hit. I'm gonna hit up here number 3, Ruger American Ranch Compact, which they said was, what the heck did they say this one was? The best lightweight rifle. Okay, and I have one of these in 223. It's actually chambered in 5.56. I mean, neck and neck with probably my favorite rifle that I own. Super accurate. Like I said, I talked about that 223. We'll hit on it later in this 223 test, but let me get to it here because I get down to 6 pounds. Yeah, super light, 6 pounds for sure. Overall length 36 3/4 inch. Length of pull 12.5 inches. It's a scaled down Ruger American and 223. And even though it's marked specifically as one, Ruger shaved off over 5 inches of the overall length of this rifle compared to non-compact like the American Ranch or the Predator. The shortened length makes the compact version more manageable for you shooters. Honestly, I don't have a problem as an adult, and I got freaking ape arms, and no problem for me. I love shooting that gun. It fits me good. So I have no problem at all. And it says here 10+1 detachable box mag. Yeah, it comes with it does come with the Magpul 10 rounder, which I'm fine with that too. I mean, I usually put a 20 rounder in it, but a 10 rounder is good. Short. It says 18-inch barrel, which they got it wrong because it's a 16-inch barrel, but it is threaded, suppressor ready. And I turned my daughter into both of them into suppressor snobs already. They don't want to shoot anything. I mean, if it's 22, they're cool, but anything that's not a 22 or a 17, they want it suppressed. Even a 17 suppressed. My youngest shot my buddy Dougie's, and she still talks about that thing. I end up having to buy her one of those someday. So, they say your suppressor helps protect your child's hearing, especially if you're gearing up to be a lifelong hunter. Yeah, well, it does a lot more than that. It sucks up recoil, and obviously the hearing effect it doesn't scare everything off within a freaking 10-mile radius. It great suppressors are awesome, man. Like I said, tune in a couple weeks. We're gonna hit on that a little more when we got Dustin on from Hazen Armory. So it's got the Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger. Offers a crisp release with a pull weight between 3 and 5. And like I said, I did put the M Carbo trigger spring in there, made that sucker super smooth. It is a great trigger in there. And like I said, lightweight, 6 pounds. It is like they say here. It's a little pricier, and I think this is actually an article from probably last fall. So they're probably talking about the Gen 1. I think the Gen 2 is actually the same weight, or maybe a little less because they got the fluted barrel. I don't know. It's super close, but they're both awesome. They're both awesome rifles with the weight and that. And they're kind of complaining here about it. It might not fit your kiddo in a few years. Like I said, trust me, it will. It will. It'll fit you when you're older too. But other than that, they got it coming in here at 470. Nah, it's more like 500, probably even a little more than that. But it's a great rifle. Anyways, that would be, if somebody asked me, which my buddy did already. Yeah, I definitely would do that. If they're a little bigger kid, I'd actually even go with the Predator. You get that 22-inch barrel, you give yourself a little more velocity. My friend Travis has one of the Ruger American Predators. I mean, just shoots dimes. Great rifle. No complaints about that at all. But all right, we're at 7:20 here. I'm gonna hit our first commercial, and then we're gonna come back. I see you guys got some comments. I'll catch up on the comments, but we're gonna hit our first sponsor break here. Be right back.
Located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Absolutely. And don't forget, guys and gals, if you go do some business with our sponsors, make sure you tell them you heard it on Guns in the 701 or 701Nation or saw it in any of our videos, because without those guys, it makes it a lot harder to do this. Now, this is enjoyable. I enjoy doing this and talking to you guys and getting the message out and talking guns and gear, but our sponsors make it a lot easier and they're awesome. So please support them. All right. I'm going to catch up on a few of these comments here. Let's see. Josh Patterson, CZs are super nice. Yeah, they are. They got, I mean, I'm not a big wood stock guy, but CZs have awesome wood stocks too. Let's see. Brandon, I was on at 100. Okay, he's talking about the the rascal we got. He was on at 100 with it. Well, you'll see in the video when we do it. Josh Patterson, got my daughter a Ruger American Compact in 243. Thing is an absolute tack driver. 20-inch barrel. Very happy with it. First Ruger rifle I've ever bought. Yeah. I have not shot one of those that hasn't shot good. It's they're awesome. And like I said, later tonight we're gonna have like 5 little tidbits about the Ruger company maybe nobody knew about. Whalen Little Eagle tuned in. All right. Hey, Whalen, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate that, buddy. I know you were watching last night too, so I appreciate you taking time to come on here and support me tonight too. That's much appreciated. Everywhere got good viewership tuning in tonight. And in case anybody noticed, when I did the promo, there was a short little video there. It was freaking awesome. Mikey D made that for me. Mikey D, you're the man. That is a sweet video. If you didn't see it, you can go check it out on Facebook. I got it on there somewhere. I know I sent a bunch of texts out to you guys too, but all right. Going with the next one here. This was their top pick for adjustable length of pull for a youth rifle. Again, right off the top, not a good youth rifle for me because this thing's 7.5 pounds. Yeah, because you add on a scope and rings and maybe a bipod. I mean, that's getting to be a heavy rifle. To me, that's like I said, unless you got a bigger kid, the 3 kids we're going, my daughter, my nephew, and my buddy's son, they're average size kids for their age, not big. So I don't want them getting hammered with big recoil or trying to lug around a tanky rifle. And guess what? I'm not carrying my kid's rifle around. That's their job. So anyways, the Mossberg Youth Super Bantam. Top tier, I say Mossberg has a top tier reputation. In case anybody missed it, this is Wide Open Space's top 6 youth hunting rifles. Mossberg has a top tier reputation for high quality shotguns and rifles at an affordable price. And their Patriot series, which just is, I think their Patriots, they are nice rifles. These Mossberg Patriot series, they are nice. I agree. I like the looks of those things. You get serious bang for your buck. So they're saying their selling point are these spacers, and I think it comes with 3 of them. I clicked on it and checked it out a little bit. Enables you to adjust the length of pull. I've had rifles that do that. I never really used them much, but for me personally, but for a kid, it's probably not a bad idea. Going with that, I'll touch on that at the end here. I'm almost done. I'll give you my opinion on a little more on spacers and length of pull. But 20-inch matte blue barrel. See, it's matte, so that's good. It's not just, I don't think it's blue, just straight blue, like it said blued. Yeah, that wears off. I like the matte. There's no shine coming off it. Some people like that. I don't. Black synthetic stock. Trigger here is adjustable between 2 and 7 pounds, which is good because I think trigger is important even for young kids. 5+1 magazine capacity. I like that. I like having 5 in the mag. That's good, which is great. They always say there's follow-up shots. Follow-up shots, yeah, if you need it. But, man, it's just good to have that. I don't know anybody who doesn't bring along an extra box of ammunition. So you might as well just have a magazine that holds at least 5 of them. And a lot of people will just put it right on their cheek thing, too. You can put how many more in there. And a lot of these long-range guys got these cool little things they stick on the side of their stock, and it holds 3 of them right there. I don't know how practical it is for hunting, but it looks badass. So I might, I might get myself some of those for my bolt gun. Lastly, the Mossberg here, it's available in black, green camo, and pink camo. Pink camo. Girls still like pink camo. I'm not. Heck, pink camo is cool. Any kind of camo is cool. I like camo. I'd probably be more apt for the green. And of course, they say any new hunter will be excited to choose these in multiple colors. Yeah, sure. Good price coming in here too for this Mossberg, $400, which is very fair. I think very fair. Hey, Paul Odegaard, great show again. Thanks. Nobody knows that's my mom. Thanks, Mom. I appreciate you tuning in for the kind words. All right, so we're gonna hit here. We got the last one. The last one, Winchester XPR Compact, which is, what did they say about this one? This is their best weather and damage resistant. And I didn't know too much about this, but this does seem like a pretty sweet youth rifle here. Comes in 6.5 pounds, overall length 39 1/4, length of pull 13 inches. And like I said, XPR is a compact version, smaller version of their full size XPR, which I am fully aware of that one. Got a permacoat finish on it, free floating barrel and receiver, which is awesome. Anytime you can get I don't care if you're a kid or you're an adult, anytime you can get a good coating on that barrel and stuff, because man, it rains or whatever, you spill something on it. Man, I love having a coating on there. That's one nice thing about something like an AR. When you get all the coatings on almost all ARs you get are weather resistant. So, but I like seeing it. They're doing it more and more on these bolt rifles, which I like to see. Muzzle has a recessed target crown. I mean, that's going to help with accuracy too. Protects the exposed rifling edges. The bolt is treated with nickel Teflon, so it's tougher than the average bolt. Not only that, you get nickel or Teflon on something, that stuff's it's just like butter, man. It's great. I love that coating. Of course, the synthetic stock cuts down weight, scratch resistant. It's got they say it's got a pretty sweet recoil pad on it too. And the 243 they used it. Recoil was not. And this here's kind of a drawback for me. 3+1. Hey JD, I mean, if you need more than 3 rounds to kill a deer, like I said, I just touched on that. 3 rounds is fine. But I mean, I guarantee you're going to have something in your pocket. And North Dakota doesn't have. I don't know what state you're listening to. If you're listening from another state, I appreciate that. But North Dakota, we have no magazine capacity limit here, which we shouldn't, and I like that. So I like the 3+1. It's got sling swivel studs already. So that's nice to have on that. I'm getting subject, yeah. Some things are okay. I did. My cousin John actually. I did. John, you must have got in a little late. We did touch on the Savage. We did touch on the Savage. It actually there was 2 of them. No, just one of them. The Savage Access. Yeah. And my buddy said he had his, and 6.5. It's awesome. So I keep looking at the phone like I'm talking to him. I'm not, but we hit on it, John. So you maybe have to go back and check it out after the show. But all right. So overall, they say that Winchester XPR Compact will fit youth hunters well, stands up to elements, quickly and ethically harvest your kid's deer. But it's another. That's what they say. The cost is $540. But man, when you're getting weather resistant stuff like that, and a good recoil pad and a recessed target crown, it's not threaded. I think the Ruger is the only one on this list that's threaded. I too am a snob for threaded barrels and suppressors, but whatever. That thing sounds like a pretty sweet deer rifle, for $540. That's definitely within good. That's a good price range. So they say here, this is the end of this here, and then we're going to move on. These specific features are especially important when purchasing compact youth rifles. Length of pull, durability, chambering or caliber, price, and I added one on there, the trigger. The trigger is important. I don't care how old you are, if you're a kid or an adult, a good trigger that's one of the main things that can improve your accuracy, without a doubt about it. Without a doubt. I mean, unless you're my dad, my dad can take a 10-pound trigger pull and still shoot a freaking water jug at 500 yards. He grew up with those things. So I am a huge trigger snob, but yeah, that's, if your kid just going through hunter safety and they're looking for a rifle, I think any of those, some choices, obviously, like I said, will be better. Basically, going on the weight of it, I would go for sub 7-pound rifle because, like I said, once you get your magazine on your sling and your scope and your rings, you're going to add another 2 pounds. 8.5. No, that doesn't sound like much. Yeah, when you start adding that on, especially if you do a lot of walking, get yourself don't just get some cheesy sling either for your kid. Get a nice, feel that thing. Get something that's it's got a good tacticity, whatever, tactile to it, so it doesn't keep sliding back and then the muzzle keeps going back. Get something that'll stick on that shoulder real good and has a good amount of cushion on it. Wow, geez, you look at those and maybe they're $30. I mean, that sling's gonna last probably most of the kids, for 10, 15 years most of the time. And by the time that wears out, they're going to be doing their own thing and buy their own sling. So, that was I think buying a good sling's damn important on top of everything else there. Anyway, let's move on here. I got the second thing. The reason I wanted to talk about this are soft point bullets a thing of the past. Because when I went back in there. Like I said, I did the 223 soft point test. Got the bullets from our sponsor, Double H Guns and Daryl. Shot great out to 300 yards, real good. And went back in, was talking to Daryl, and Daryl was like, "Yeah, a lot of people don't shoot soft points anymore," which I agree. Everybody's seems to be on the ballistic tip or the super tiny match bullet hollow point, or you get the monolithic all coppers. Soft point bullets, and I'm talking these were flat based too. They weren't boat tails. Let me go on one thing here before I keep going here. Josh Patterson, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Double H Guns does barrel threading. I'm fairly certain that their gunsmith there does that. Josh, I'm pretty sure. He said he knows Jake at Bloodline Kinetics does, and does Cerakote as well as some other stuff. Yeah, there's some few guys in town that do that kind of stuff. I know my buddy Rob definitely had a few of his guns threaded down at Double H. A couple years, I'm not saying probably, more than a couple years ago, but those are on a 7mm mag and something else. The thing shoots dimes. We've got videos of Rob drilling a gong out there at 750, no problem. And that was after this guy threaded them. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. I could be wrong. Next time I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to swing in a Double H in the next couple of days. I'll ask Daryl and I'll confirm that. But anyway, the soft points, yeah. A lot of people, flat base, lead tip, man. I want high speed, low drag, huge. I want that huge BC but within, man, smaller calibers within 400 yards, they will, accuracy wise, in my opinion, they will rival these fancy new. And I say fancy new, not super new, but I shoot ballistic tips all the time. I love ballistic tip bullets. My main problem that I kind of got away from shooting soft points was I do a lot of AR-15 shooting, and if you load your magazine up, the bullet when you shoot slams forward, and if you don't shoot them bullets out of there and you keep reloading on top of them, you get to the bottom, you'll get. It won't, like a 308 for sure will do this. I've seen it happen to my friends hunting, but it'll mushroom the hell out of that tip. And man, I think I've seen some people do tests on it, and I'm pretty sure I tried it. And it does affect your accuracy somewhat, but listen, if you're hunting deer with a 223 I'm not letting my kid shoot past 200 at a deer with it, and then she's going to be using soft points. And so my nephew probably will too, and so will my buddy John's kid. I got a bunch of them loaded up, and we've done tests on them, which I'm going to hit on shortly. But yeah, don't as far as soft points go, guys and gals, you're going to get them cheaper. So like 100, let's just say, I'm just bullet wise, just bullets, not loaded ammo. I'm just going to say bullets. So 100 of these Hornadays, just the bullets. I just did a quick search. 100 of them are like $21, right? Just for this soft point, flat base. Your basic soft point bullet. Then you go to a ballistic tip for the same amount for 100. That was $27. So you're getting $6 more for the ballistic. And I guarantee a loaded ammo is going to be just more than that. And then if you go to the monolithics, like the all coppers and all that, for a 50 count, a minimum of $35. So you're going from 100 soft points at $21 to 50 monos at $35. Man, if you do a lot of shooting, that's easy math for me. And your 223, your 22, 250, you're going to be able to shoot farther or something. But a 223, realistically, 400 yards, on a coyote, probably max. Maybe, I'm sure people have killed them farther than that, no doubt about it. But that's a lot of money. And you're getting half the product for these. If you're going to go with an all copper, you're getting half the product for another $15. To me, no way. I'm out on doing that. I am not against all copper bullets, but just the price of those things is ridiculous to me. So I'm out on that. As far as all right, Josh has got a comment here for me. I think guys are stuck on ballistic coefficient numbers, so they steer away from the soft point. Agreed, Josh. And I get hung up on that sometimes. The velocity, it pisses me off. I try to get away from that. But yeah, I mean, but I did notice for sure the BC in my 6.5 Grendel definitely made a difference at 300 yards. So, but yeah, but 223. I mean, their velocity is all pretty close. But he says I personally love a soft point. Me too. I never had a soft point not expand. Yep, exactly. Which is I was going to say I got for deer hunting. Like I said, Axe and I did that short. It was I think it was just a Facebook reel, like 50 seconds or something. Shot it out of my 16-inch barrel, 62 grain. Sierra Soft Point Boat Tail Game King. 250 complete pass through on the gel, expanded. I mean, you could see if you shoot gel or watch video, you can tell when it expands. It expanded awesome. And I mean, I shot the 64 grain bonded as well. We did a video on that. It was longer. That did not expand as much as that Sierra did. You could just tell by the gel. I can't remember what they call it, the wound channel when it expands in there offhand. But I think we're going to go with those 62 grain Sierras because they penetrated just as good as I can't say just as good, but they penetrated 16 inches at 250 yards with expansion. So anything under that 200 yards on the deer, that's going to be sweet for that. So, all right, you guys, we're coming up on 7:40. I'm going to do our double ad here because, like I said, I don't want to do a long show. I want to keep it an hour, maybe a little more than that. Hey, I'm having fun. Appreciate you guys hanging in. I love talking about stuff like this. So coming up after this, we're going to hit on the 5 things you might not know about Ruger. Some of them I didn't know, and which is not surprising. I don't claim to be a big expert on all things guns. I do know more than your average bear, but I'll tell you what, we're going to hit on that. Here comes our double ad from LAUER Auto Repair and Double H Guns.
Located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Discover the world of firearms at Bismarck's Double H Gun Shop. With a wide range of products from handguns to rifles, we cater to all your shooting needs. We are your local gun experts. Not only do we sell firearms, reloading supplies, targets, and whatever your heart desires, but we also have a ton of knowledge and answers.
We shoot, we hunt, we compete, we reload.
It's been the Howard's way since 1976, and we ain't fixing to change anything. Visit our website at hhgunshop.com to browse our inventory. Double H Gun Shop, Bismarck's best new and used firearm reloading supply, gunsmithing, and sporting goods store. Double H Guns.
Double H Guns.
1021 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Call 701-223-4888.
You bet. And if you don't support our sponsors, I'll tell you what. Absolutely. So, hey, you guys, and if you guys got any more comments on what we were talking about, because like I said, we're gonna move on here. I'm more than open to discussing more about the youth rifles, more about soft point bullets, what you guys think of them. Michael O'Deakins, Mikey D, I want more Rugers. I know that, Mike. Me too, buddy. I tell you what, I finally went down Double H. Daryl's got the Gen 2 Ruger Americans in there. Got hands on with them. Man, that is sweet. I mean, it just feels good in your hands. It just feels good in your hands. So I'm going to go back real quick to now that I think about it, the youth guns. Nothing wrong at all as long as your kid's comfortable with an AR, shooting AR, and they know the way around it. You got that adjustable. ARs are so adjustable for everything, and most ARs that I've shot they shoot great. Maybe some, the cheaper one maybe not as accurate as like a cheap bolt gun, but I mean definitely enough for your kid to make a hard shot or a long shot, which a soft point, a 223 soft point, 55 grain or more. I've seen it happen. Blow the lungs right out of a deer, and it like Joe said, man, it suck them out. It didn't suck them out. Expanded in there, blew the lungs out. Fast kill. Nothing wrong with that. Most ARs easily accurate. If you saw the test I did on the Hornet Ace from HH, man, my AR shot, it was under a half-inch group, 3-shot under a half-inch group. So ARs, totally, the collapsible stock is so awesome to have for young shooters, or if you get a bunch of clothes on, it gets cold. So just went back to that for a little bit and mentioned that. Don't be afraid to get your kid out there shooting the AR for hunting season. So, all right, I'm going to get a few more comments here. Clayton Peterson, I know I don't own enough Rugers. Yeah. All them guns you got, Clay, and you don't own enough Rugers. Yeah, you got to step your game up, buddy. Gene Cox says, I've got a Ruger. I haven't even shot yet. Oh, Gene, you're killing me, buddy. I mean, just go out your door and just blast, like Joe said, shoot one off in the air just to shoot it, man. It'll bring a smile to your face for sure. All right, so speaking of Rugers, I said I was going to go through. We're going to go through 5 things you might not know about Rugers. Got this from the NRA blog here. Oh yeah, the NRA, GD. Yeah, that's right. The NRA kicks ass. Life member and proud of it. So I'll read their little spiel here a little bit, and then we'll get into these here. So. It says, since its beginning in 1949, Sturm Ruger and Company, known simply as Ruger, has become one of the leading manufacturers in the world, producing more than 400 variations of over 30 different product lines. The company was founded by Alexander McCormick Sturm and William B. Ruger, which, man, at the end of his life, he kind of had a bad goings there, but hence the name Sturm Ruger and Company. Rented a small machine shop in Southport, Connecticut. Sturm, who hailed from the wealthy McCormick mercantile family, provided the investment capital, while Ruger, who began designing guns as a student at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, brought his firearms engineering ideas to the table. All right, so we'll go through these quick ones here. These 5 things. Their first product was the Ruger Standard. The first gun produced by this legendary American gunmaker traces its roots to Japan, right? Unbelievable, but whatever. And I can't remember maybe Gene, you know that the standard, wasn't it like after kind of modeled after the Japanese Nambu pistol? I could be wrong. Ruger acquired a World War II era. Yeah, right here. Okay, I didn't. Shows you I didn't read up on it a whole lot. World War II Japanese Nambu pistol from a U.S. Marine who had returned from the war and sought to duplicate the design in his workshop. He successfully built 2, but lacked the money to start a company to produce and market the design. Enter Alexander Sturm, who brought the $50,000 of revenue capital needed to get the project running. The duo began producing the pistol, named simply the Ruger Standard, which went on to become the forefather of the most successful 22 rimfire pistols ever produced. Yeah, I mean, Ruger pistols, my dad's got one. God, I know so many people have. My brother-in-law, Clayton, has that one he had out at Axel's. We were shooting on, I think it was 2A day or one of the other days we were up there shooting with that dot on. And I mean, at 50 yards, just hammer away on a gong with that thing. It's awesome. I personally don't have a Ruger. I don't have a Ruger handgun. I got plenty of Ruger rifles. No handgun, strangely enough. But man, maybe that's something I got to look forward to. So, number 2, the AR-15 almost belonged to Ruger, which Ruger does now make AR-15s. But as most firearms enthusiasts know, Eugene Stoner is the man behind the AR-15 rifle, having developed a lightweight semi-automatic while working as a chief engineer at Armalite. When Armalite began searching for a manufacturer to license and produce the AR-15, Stoner purportedly offered the rights to Ruger. As history would have it, Ruger declined, and the company eventually struck a deal with Colt, who became synonymous with the AR-15 from then on. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, as of right now, I would take a Ruger AR-15 over a Colt any day. So, Josh Patterson, he says, I got a Ruger SR40C that I picked up years ago. Recently just picked up a Ruger LCP in 380. That's a fun little pistol. Absolutely. And you know what? I got to correct myself. I said I didn't own Ruger pistols. I meant 22. I do own two Ruger 9mm. One of them sitting right here. My Carry LC9S. I own two of them. Awesome carry pistols. So, my bad. I get to, you get to going on and talking and you forget about stuff. All right, let's move on to number 3. If nobody knows what Josh is saying, SR40, that's 40 cal. C means compact. So, how's that thing shoot anyways, Josh? Just curious. Ruger makes more than guns. Number 3, while the world knows the name Ruger first and foremost as a manufacturer of sturdy, reliable firearms, the company does more than build guns. Early on, Ruger understood that to be able to design and manufacture firearms their way, they needed to invest in quality investment castings. In 1963, the company established Pine Tree Castings, who produced the finest investment castings not only for Ruger's guns, but for other customers in a wide range of industries, including automotive, defense, sporting goods, tools, medical equipment, and many others, even other gun makers at one point. Ruger even produced titanium golf clubs for the Callaway in the 1990s with some marked Ruger titanium featuring the famous Sturm Ruger Eagle. I wonder if old Tiger Woodsy had those. I'm not a big golf guy. I mean, golf is fun to me, but if I did golf, I'd maybe look for one of these Ruger titaniums. All right, number 4, which I did read this one, which was pretty cool, actually. Number 4, Ruger test fires every gun they make, which a lot of companies do. I mean, if you bought a handgun, they usually have, I know Smith & Wesson, they got 2 or 3 of the casings in there they fired. Or there's one in there and they do 3, I think. And one they give they leave in the box. One they keep at the factory, and heck, I don't know what they do with the other one. They probably give it to the ATF. I don't know I can't remember what it is. I read the story at one point, but whatever. Anyways, to back up the reputation of quality, durability, and reliability, Ruger test fires every single firearm they produce, as well as proof tests the chamber of every center fire gun they make. A proof load is especially made load with a fixed higher percentage of pressure than the SAMI max pressure of a given cartridge. Ruger tests each chamber with a proof load 50% higher than that SAMI maximum pressure. So if a 223's chamber pressure, one of their rifles is 59,000 psi, they go 50% higher than that. That's freaking crazy, and they don't blow up. So, I mean, I wouldn't try that maybe in an older one, but they maybe do it, or who knows, maybe they did it way back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, but I'm not going to test it, but I appreciate them doing that. Ruger performs this test to ensure every firearm is strong enough to absorb above and beyond the pressure that normal ammunition doles out. Absolutely. Like I said, I appreciate them doing that. That's awesome, man. So the last one we're going to go to here, which I do have one of these too. I like, if anybody's been listening, I won one of these in the Ruger last October Ruger 1022 giveaway. I did win a Ruger 1022, and they say is the king of the rimfire rifle. I can't disagree. There's so many people own these, and they run like a sewing machine, even when they're dirty, and they shoot so accurate. I hate to diss my my Smith & Wesson M&P 22, and maybe it's not a diss, but I mean overall that Ruger 1022 rifle is so awesome to have. Shoots great, and they're all over the place. And there's so many like aftermarket things you can do to them: trigger, stock, barrel. I mean, it's almost like an AR-15 to be honest with you. But I would probably recommend that as my first. If somebody say, "Hey, what 22 rifle should I get?" Ruger 1022. Number 2 is going to be my Smith & Wesson M&P 22. But anyway, I'll read their spiel here on it, and then we'll move on. Ruger has built an empire on producing rugged, reliable rimfire guns, starting with the aforementioned Ruger Standard. but the iconic Ruger 1022 auto-loading rifle is the undisputed king of the 22 Mountain. Agreed. Introduced in way back, 1964. And this thing, they haven't really changed anything on it at all. Bill Ruger's slick yet simple 22 long rifle semi-auto rifle has become the I guess I don't know this word. I'm going to just say it how it looks to me. Archetype of an easy to use and reliable rimfire. The 1022 is without question the most popular rimfire rifle of all time, and it's still going. The sales surpassed 6 million units. Oh man, if there's an anti-gunner who hears that, they're just freaking out right now. 6 million! Oh god! Generations of Americans have embraced the 1022 as the ultimate training rifle, plinking gun, and varmint hunter. Yeah, it is. Even to I had my Ruger 1020. I'm not kidding you. At 100 yards, I had it dialed in shooting prairie dogs. I was so confident 100 yards, I could smoke them with that easily. Its timeless simplicity paired with endless customization options, which I mentioned, make it the perfect 22 for just about anyone. I think it's a perfect 22 for anyone, to be quite honest with you. That thing is freaking awesome. Love it. Brian Warner. I said it before, but it's un-American to not own a 1022. Right on, Brian. Right on. And what I said about Bill Ruger earlier, some people my age or older will remember. Bill Ruger said before the assault weapons ban, Bill Ruger doesn't own Ruger. It's totally different, up to speed company now, but he said, "And no honest man needs more than 10 rounds." Completely disagree with that. But he caught a lot of hell for that, as he should have, because that was part of the reason the Clinton administration and the Democrat House and Senate, hey, Bill Ruger said you don't need more than 10 rounds, man. He's Bill Ruger, so we're going to do the 10 round limit. Thank God the sunset clause is in there, and it got taken away. Anyhow, one shot Cap. All right, Cap, I see you put face on there. I'm not sure what that is going back to here, but yeah, I don't, sorry, my bad. I guess I don't see where, maybe you meant to type something else in. If not, feel free to explain it, and and I'll get to it. All right. Now, for my celebrity scumbag of the week, and man, when I read this, I'm not saying it broke my heart, but it is gun related too, for sure. What's the word? I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. Love this guy as an actor. Love the movies he was in, and not all movies, but a bunch of them. So I'm gonna get to it right here. This was from War History Online. Brian Dennehy is the guy's name, and now a bunch of you are probably going, What the heck is wrong with Brian Dennehy? Now you're going to find out here. Brian Dennehy was known for his roles in several big-name films. One of my favorite ones of all time right here, right off the bat, First Blood, 1982. FX, Romeo and Juliet, and there was a multitude of other ones. There was that boxing movie with, I don't remember the one guy's name, and Cuba Gooding Jr., and Dennehy played the asshole. He did a good job of it, but anyway, I think he was in that movie with Steve Guttenberg too, and the old people jump in the pool and they get young. But anyway, that was just to name a few. He was also a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. Oh, geez, JD, how can Denny be a celebrity scumbag? You will find out. I'm definitely not banging on his service in the Marine Corps. He served in the military from 58 to 63, and it's here the famed actor stirred controversy. Through his life, he falsely claimed to have served in the Vietnam War, leaving a sour taste in the mouth of those who risked their lives during the conflict. I didn't even serve in the conflict, and it's leaving a sour taste in my mouth. Sadly, it's not uncommon for individuals to lie about the extent of their service, with there being several instances of stolen valor. Some do it to collect funds from government agencies and the public, while others lie for the recognition war heroes receive after braving the enemy head on. An online search allows anyone to purchase medals and uniforms, and social media allows users to create whatever persona they wish, even before the internet. Lying about serving was easy to do, and there wasn't an easy way to fact check the stories told. And anyway, who would lie about being a war veteran? Well, I mean, if you don't know about it, I mean, stolen valor is a lot of people do it. It's pathetic, but people do it. So, and it's not something you'd expect a celebrity to do, as history has shown. It has happened right here. Denny, he got started in Hollywood in 1977 with appearances in 2 films and 3 TV shows. His major role came with the first installment of the Rambo series, First Blood, in which he portrayed asshole Sheriff Will Teasel. I put the a-hole part in there. It's arguably the actor's most famous role. Right, when I see Brian Denny, I think of Will Teasel and Art Galt and the rest of the guys harassing John Rambo there in the sheriff's department. It's arguably his most famous role, and it led to many more opportunities in subsequent decades. He had the respect of audiences across the world, and this only grew upon them learning about his time in the military. Right, when you see, say, guy like that guy's an actor, he was in the Marines, freaking awesome, man. That's awesome. Here's what we know about Dennehy's service in the Marine Corps. He enlisted on September 15, 1959, was stationed for a time in Okinawa, where he played football. He left the military on June 4, 1963, just under 4 years later, before the Vietnam War had really begun to heat up. Throughout his career, Denny claimed to have served in Vietnam. He told Playboy magazine that he had done a 5-year tour during, 5 years. Oh man, he was really over there kicking ass, during which he suffered minor injuries in combat. He appeared to go more in depth when speaking to the New York Slimes. That would be New York Times for people who didn't know. Elaborating that the injuries he sustained were caused by shrapnel. He also claimed to have gotten a concussion. He even acted like he knew the mindset of those who'd had to kill while serving, telling Playboy, quote, "As for killing someone, anyone in combat would agree that it's pretty much accidental." What? It's not what you're thinking about. You spend a considerable amount of time just trying to be in a combat situation. You're trying to avoid coming face to face with anything. So when something bad happens, it's just accidental. I don't know about that. He talked to some boys in combat. But the implication in war movies is that war has this rational beginning, middle, and end. And of course, none of it does. He continued, it's absolutely F-bombing chaos. Apocalypse Now is the movie. Even more entertaining is that it was made soon after the war was over. It was and is the most sophisticated overview of the experience. Apocalypse Now is a freaking pretty crazy Vietnam War movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. The truth is, though, Denny never served in Vietnam. He issued a public apology for his lies in 1998 and began, after being called out by BG, quote, nicknamed Jug Burkett, a real-life veteran of the conflict who dedicated his post-war life to outing instances of stolen valor. And here's Denny talking right here. I lied about serving in Vietnam, and I'm sorry, he told the Globe. I did not mean to take away from the actions and the sacrifices of those who did really serve there. I did steal valor. That was very wrong of me. There was no real excuse for that. I was a peacetime Marine, and I got out in 63 without ever serving in Vietnam. I started this story that I had been in Nam, and I got stuck with it. Then I didn't know how to set the record straight. All right, so you're probably thinking, all right, good on him. He said it straight, right? Well, hold on. We're going to continue here. As CBS News points out, the closest the actor ever got to action during the war was by portraying Marine Sergeant Ned T. Frozen Chosen Coleman in the made-for-TV movie, A Rumor of War. That was in 1980. And if you don't know, Frozen Chosen refers to the Marines that were in the Chosin Reservoir. I don't know the entire story about that battle, but I do know about the Chosin Reservoir. However, despite admitting he lied about the extent of his military service, Dennehy began telling the same falsehoods less than 10 years later. As the Denver Post reports, in 2007, he told a journalist with the Wall Street Journal that he served in Vietnam. As it turns out, he didn't feel all that bad about exaggerating the extent of his service. He wasn't sorry. For the most part, aside from the outrage from veterans and families of those who actually served in combat, Dennehy's career was largely left unscathed by his admission of stolen valor. It could be the average person didn't understand the true gravity of what he claimed, or it could be that when you're in Hollywood, egregious behavior isn't always punished. My guess is that last line, most people who I know and who are listening know that Hollywood is more than happy, to look past egregious behavior of their own. So my guess is Denny was probably a Democrat as well. All instances of stolen valor should be treated with the same amount of scrutiny, regardless of how famous the person is. These claims do a disservice to the real-life bravery of those veterans who risked their lives for freedom and who are deserving of our recognition and gratitude, whether that be in Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, or any other war for that matter. And Brian Denny, he's no longer alive. He did die April 15, 2020. I'm not saying good or bad about it, but the guy should have just stuck with apologizing for lying about stolen valor, going to war, but he didn't, and he came back to do it. So that is my scumbag of the week. If you don't think that was a scumbag move, feel free to tell me. So I'm going to catch up on a few comments here. Clay Peterson, I love the GP100 G, and I actually have a Ruger Red Hawk with the GP100 grips on it. All right. Oh, okay, I must have missed that one. Cocoon, there you go, Clay. Yeah, Cocoon. I said Denny, he was in there. I think Denny, he was like the head alien or something, right? My buddy Dave Young down in Georgia giving us a double thumbs up. Silverado, that's right. Axe Hondos. Denny, he was in Silverado as well. Kevin Costner, Silverado is a great Western. Josh Patterson, I'm assuming I already seen it, but did you see the Selfridge Shields Sportsman's Club is doing an egg lollipop shooting seals? Now I got to figure out which rifle to take if I'm able to make it. I did see that, Josh. Not going to make it, but yeah, if you do, by all means, give us a full report, chime in, take some pictures. I'll be more than happy to talk about it here. And that's where Clay said to Gene, he loves the GP 100. Lynette K, taking care of Vietnam vets and what they did through this is so disgusting. Yeah, Lynette does take care of a lot. I think an old World War II guy, even he's alive at around 100 years old. But yeah, Gene Cox. I think Gene was actually a Marine. Never referring to Brian. He said I don't know if you're referring to Brian Gene. I think he never got out of the boat. All right. But yeah, so I could, if I'm wrong about something there, Gene, feel free to correct me in the comments here. All right, guys, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the last ad here, and then I'm gonna come back. You guys got anything else you want to hit on in the comments? Let's do it. And then I'm gonna do a little PR for the boys and myself here. So let's hit on the last ad here. We'll be right back.
Located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Right on. Thank you to LAUER Auto and thank you to Double H Guns. You guys are awesome. Thanks for sponsoring the show and supporting, like the ad says, pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota. You guys are awesome. And hey, we're always looking for more sponsors. I'm going to catch up on a few comments here. Josh Patterson. Will do. I'm going to try and make it. High school trap will be full swing then too. So not sure if I'll make it yet. All right, Josh. Hey. And by all means, you ever want to give us an update on what's going on in high school trap? Matter of fact, both of our sponsors, LAUER Auto Repair and Double H Guns, big sponsors of high school trap teams. Freaking great. Lynette K, I talked about the World War II veteran she takes care of. She said, yes, he is 105 years old. Man, imagine living 105 and not only living that long what you've seen, but surviving a dang war and then still being, man, that is unbelievable to me. Gene Cox, when Chef and Willard were looking for mangoes, the tiger seen an apocalypse now. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, Gene. Sorry, Gene. I forgot. Yeah, yeah. Apocalypse Now is freaking great, man. I love it. Gene Cox. I'm not a Marine. 7 years in the Army National Guard. Fire direction computer for field artillery. The king of the battle. Right on, Gene. My uncle Dean was he was in Vietnam, and then I think that's actually what he did. Clay and I had him on when we were on 1270 there, and yeah, if it wasn't that, it was something closer. I know he figured artillery, and he was telling us about the old radar and old computers, and when they'd fire mortars, he could figure out how long it was taking to come at them, and yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, my uncle Dean was over there, great guy. Appreciate him putting foot to ass for the country, and same to you, Gene. So, all right, guys, if you guys, I'm gonna run through some PR here. If you guys got anything else you want to hit on while I'm doing this, throw it in the comments, and I'll get to it. Other than that, when it's over, we're gonna sign off here. So, you guys missed the show last night. Clay, Mikey D, and Vance and the crew had on Tess Tally. I think she's a professional hunter. I think her and her husband down there in Texas. Good show, talking about some border stuff, Second Amendment, some hunting things. Tessa's husband, I'm sorry if you're listening, I forgot what your name was. I apologize for that, but yeah, I think they purposely went a little longer than we did for drinks with the 701 last Friday, just to set the record. It was almost 2 hours, but good show. Check it out if you haven't. I don't think Clay's got that on podcast for him. I've been looking for it for today, but I haven't seen it. Brian Warner, good show, JD. Appreciate you, Brian. And in case you guys ever missed that, you're new to the show, go back, check it out. And I had Brian and his dad Art on. We talked some sausage. I think that was 2 episodes ago. Yeah, I think that's the most views we've had on a podcast. That was great, man. Brian and his dad has some good info. At some point in time, we're going to have him back on. Good guests. Andrew Talley is Tessa's husband's name. Guns in the 701. Okay, it's uploaded now. JD got up to this morning. All right, thanks, Clay. I think I checked. Well, I did check just on one of our podcast platforms. It wasn't up there yet, but you know how it. Hey, Clay, while you're on there, why don't you snipe Ugan Elimosan, whatever the hell his name is or her name? We got spammer on there from Facebook. Snipe them. But anyway, check that out every Wednesday. Guns in the 701. We're kind of talking right now. I'm not sure that it's settled yet, but maybe Josh Patterson. Great show as always, JD. Thank you, Josh. You're great for tuning in, buddy. I appreciate you, and so do Clay and the other boys. We're talking about maybe alternating every other Wednesday. Guns in the 701 and 701 Nation. Not sure. Clay's going to discuss that a little more, I think, with Mikey D tonight, and we'll let you know. But as of right now, 2 weeks from now, I'm planning on having, like I said, Dustin on from Hazen Armory LLC to talk some suppressors. If not, it's going to be the 4th of April. So it's going to be that, it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. We'll let you know for sure. But yeah, and then this Friday, Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7, or on your free iHeart app. Clay and the boys are going to be on 7:15 AM Mountain, 8:15 AM Central Time with Todd. It'll be on for it's 45 minutes, but really with the commercials and stuff. And Scott Bachmeyer comes on there with the farm report, and they're on for about 20-25 minutes. Awesome information as usual on there with Second Amendment stuff. You get some hunting. Good. Clay's always got some good stuff with Second Amendment law in there as well. I try to do that stuff, but I trip over my own feet when it comes to law stuff, so I stay away from that. And of course, like I said, every Wednesday the boys are on, and every other week I'm on with 701 Nation. We got a bunch of good videos up to you guys, like shooting videos. Check it out. I got that one, like I said, with the 55 grain soft points. Went down, as a matter of fact, to Double H. Bought some more. They shot so good. They got everything you need down there. Check it out. Hey, and if your kid just passed hunter safety, or they're going to take hunter safety, go down Double H. Talk to Daryl. Get yourself, get your young one there a new hunting rifle. You got knives in there too. I'm actually gonna buy my daughter. She said, "I'm not gutting a deer." And you will. I'm gonna show you how the first time. But gutting deer is it's a life skill. if it ever comes down to where you actually have to live off of meat, you should know how to do something like that. And I've actually come to the point where I enjoy gutting the animal out. So, doesn't bother me at all. I take good pride in doing a good gut. And if you do it, you get a good gut going and you don't cut the loins, you're a master. All right, Clay says here's some subjects for tomorrow morning's KFYR. All right, Clay, did you text them to me or are you going to throw them in the comments here? I see we got, I got a long text here. Nope, I don't know where he's getting at, but okay, Josh Patterson says, absolutely, JD, gutting and skinning is definitely a life skill. Absolutely, Josh. And I'll bet you any money Josh is like me. He takes great pride in getting a good skinning going on. So, okay, Clay's got one up here. They're going to be talking about on Mitchell in the morning. Anti-gun Democrats seek to undermine law passed to protect veterans' rights. Yeah, so I can give you a little insight on that one. They wanted to put it in there where if a veteran wanted to have somebody, maybe, if they're getting a little older and they want whatever, their kid or somebody to oversee their financial responsibilities, Democrats automatically wanted to say, hey, these people are mentally incapable of doing anything and they're probably shitting their pants and they should in no way be able to own guns. I'm putting a little bit of my own spin on there because it makes me mad when Democrats do this kind of thing. But tune in tomorrow. Clay and I think Mikey D's back. Clay and Mikey D and Todd will break that down a lot better than I just did. I just gave you my cliff notes. And time to end federal medical marijuana gun ban. That's right. I agree with that. Clay and I don't smoke weed. We don't have problem with people smoking weed. But if you smoke weed federally, you're not supposed to buy a gun. You're not allowed to buy guns. I'm not even sure you're allowed to own guns if you do. I don't think you are actually, but I'm sure Clay and Mikey will hit on that. And another one he's got here: gun banners step up programming of TV movie audience with show gun safety campaign. All right, that one I don't know about. I guarantee you, I will be tuned in at 8:15 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, listening to the boys. And again, appreciate Todd having us on there. Todd said guns in the 701's not going anywhere as long as he's there. So, hey, Todd, I hope you keep working at KFYR for about another 15, 20. Josh says, absolutely. My boy shot his third deer last rifle season, told him he has to watch enough. Now it's up to him to gut his deer. Right on, Josh. Right on. And not only that, what I'm not good at is deboning deer. Man, I'm not afraid to say I suck at that. I don't know why. I'm trying to get myself, I'm better than I used to be for sure, but for whatever reason, I'm not that good at that. But Gene Cox says, I see lots of people that can't break that pelvic bone, so they cut the large intestine and getting crap in the cavity. Yeah, Gene, you're right about that. You know what I like to do about that? My buddy Brad taught me this trick. When you get down to that, either with your knife or whatever you do, it's not your saw there. It's not a Sagan. I actually bought the, the Kershaw, I think. Kershaw or one of those has one. It's better than the Sagan, I think. Go on either side of that pelvic bone and you can pull it right out there and you get a huge cavity instead of that little tiny bit and it comes out of there so easy. I got a lot of people doing it that way now. It's so much easier doing it that way, in my opinion. I should actually, you know what? I'm going to video it this fall and I'll do a little thing for it. And so if nobody's done that, I'll throw it up there. So Josh says, I do suck at that too. He's referring to deboning the deer, but yeah. But I'm going to get lots of practice this fall and so are the young ones. I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I know my daughter, she said she doesn't know if she's going to use the Bolt or the AR. I'm cool with either one. It's going to be a good time. So anyway, all right, guys, been on hour 14 coming out. I'm gonna cut the show down here. Appreciate everybody. Man, we had great audience retention tonight. You guys are awesome, man. This is a fun show for me to do. I love talking about gear, and I get windy when I talk about it. And like I said, 2 weeks, we're going to be talking heavy suppressors with Dustin Weidrich from Hazen Armory. So I'm sure I'll get the pre-show out and everything for that. But yeah, check us out. Come back. It's going to be there Wednesday, April 3rd or April 4th. We're working that out right now. I told Dustin the 3rd, but if that changes, I'll let him know ASAP. But thanks everybody for tuning in. JD for 701 Nation and Guns in the 701. Keep coming back. Appreciate you guys. And don't forget, keep your powder dry and tune in to KFYR tomorrow, 8:15, Guns in the 701. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Get them shovels ready.